On the heels of a cooler than normal summer comes a forecast for a frigid winter.
Yes, and Chief Meteorologist Mark Baden joins us from the Weather Center.
Well, the forecast comes from the Farmer's Almanac. And as meteorologist Lance Hill explains, the forecast seems to be hanging from a very, very long limb. On a beautiful sunny first day of meteorological fall, an ice-cold sandwich is predicted by the Farmer's Almanac. Specifically, the 2010 edition released today warns that this winter's frigid forecast offers no respite from our cooler-than-normal summer.
Felt kind of like we don't really have as many hot days as we generally do in the summer, and kind of made the summer seem like it went by really quick. All of a sudden, feels like we're getting right into fall right away.
Bitterly cold and dry is the forecast for the Great Lakes states, surrounded by very cold conditions for most of the nation's midsection. How does that make you feel?
It's terrible. I'm not happy about that.
The Almanac's predictions use mathematical formulas based on sunspots, the position of planets, and lunar impacts on Earth. According to the publication, this icy weather will be sandwiched by more moderate conditions on both coasts. What's so interesting about this prediction is that it's in stark contrast to the Climate Prediction Center, a division of the National Weather Service, which is forecasting much warmer conditions for our region. Based on climatology from past cycles of El Nino, the Weather Service is expecting us to have a warmer than normal winter.
I'd personally prefer a nice warm winter for once, kind of, have it seem a little shorter, kind of get right into spring right away.
Of course, only time will tell which forecast is more accurate, but it's no guess which one many Milwaukeeans are pulling for.
What do you think? What would my preference be? Of course, I would like a warmer, more mild winter.
In Milwaukee, I'm meteorologist Lance Hill, and WISN 12 News. Well, after the last two winters, I think a lot of people are hoping for a little bit warmer winter, although there's a lot of snow lovers out there and people that love the cold, so we'll just have to wait and see as we move closer and closer this winter.
Hello everyone, welcome to Global Government News. Today is Friday, December 17th, 2010, and I'm Darko. New listeners, please visit my website, www.ggnonline.com, ggnonline.com. You just saw those videos. I wanted to include the Farmer's Almanac forecast for this winter. And yes, they did call for a cool, bitterly dry Midwest. But I actually read the almanac when it first came out. I believe it was in the end of August sometime. And overall, it actually stated that it was going to be a little bit warmer. So I just wanted to put that out there. You can check it out for yourself. You can pick up a Farmer's Almanac at the store, I believe, usually at the checkout counter. But yeah, in there it says that overall it's going to be, for the United States at least, it's going to be a little bit milder, as they put it, milder. So that actually does go with the National Weather Service. So I'm going to just read a few articles here, and they have to do with just kind of the weather. I don't normally do that, but either way, we're going to roll into eugenics, and we'll finish up with this video. This next one up here is 12 dead as heavy snow flooding slams Europe. 12 deaths as heavy snow blankets northern Europe. Fierce floods sweep the Balkans. This is from December 2nd. It says freezing temperatures and often blinding snowfall killed 12 or more people and caused travel chaos across northern Europe on Thursday, while some of the worst floods in a century devastated parts of the Balkans. And move on here. It says Colombia rains leave 174 dead, 1.5 million homeless. This is from December 5th. It says here the toll from weeks of heavy rains across Colombia has risen to 174 people dead and over 1.5 million homeless, the Colombian Red Cross has said. Next one up here, hotels shelter Venezuelans affected by flood. Soldiers take charge at the privately owned lodgings. And it says here Venezuelan old years took charge at several privately owned hotels Monday to help accommodate some of the thousands of people who have been forced from their homes by flooding and mudslides following weeks of torrential rains. Heavy rains flood towns in eastern Australia. Australia's Attorney General declared 45 communities along the country's east coast disaster areas Friday following weeks of drenching rains that have submerged homes, destroyed crops, and killed 4 people. And this was from December 9th. Next one up is heavy rain, strong winds batter Mid-East. This is the Mid-East, December 13th. Several cities in the Middle East and in eastern Mediterranean have been battered by harsh weather conditions during the past 2 days. And it says here, storms SOX Midwest cancels flights and closes roads. And this was just within the past couple days. So this is 2 weeks after the storm in the beginning of the month. And this is all, the reason I'm covering this is because, you know, they just passed this this little agreement down in Cancun, and it's not what they want. They want a full-fledged carbon tax on everything and every breath that you breathe out, right? But they did build a fund. It is a fund, and it's going to be funded by you. They said that, oh, we don't know where it's going to come from, where the funding is going to come from, but we created a green fund, so. But, yeah, we're going to move on here, and this next one up is, let's see here, we got to see the title. Worst of heavy rains in Northwest is over. Trouble still possible along one river, and it says slides cut off roads and train service. This was from December 13th, and it says heavy rains that hit western Washington state over the weekend have eased, and rivers that flooded roads and houses are on their way down or cresting. And there's a little picture. 10 killed in Panama floods. Flooding caused by heavy rains in Panama has left 10 people dead and over 2,500 homes damaged in the past week. And we have blizzard hits northeastern U.S. This is from December 15th. As the U.S. Midwest continues to grip with severe cold, a new front has hit the northeast in the form of bone-chilling blizzards that slammed into the area, bringing with icy winds and heavy snows. It says freezing rain, snow, batter U.S. states. A winter storm has unleashed heavy snow and freezing rain from the deep south to the Midwest, affecting transportation across the United States. This is from December 16th. More heavy snowfall cripples Germany. Recent overnight snowfall in Germany has led to many transportation cancellations and inconveniences, leaving parts of the country covered in frost. Man, I saw that picture. I was like, holy crap. Snow, sleet wreak havoc in mid-Atlantic and the south. Snow, sleet, and freezing rain wreaked havoc across the mid-Atlantic and southern states on Thursday, causing hundreds of accidents, 4 fatal. The nasty pre-winter mix also forced schools to start late, close early, or cancel classes altogether. And lastly, this is snow grounds 800 flights across Europe. Travel mess includes 300 miles of traffic jams in the Netherlands. So. And says here, heavy overnight snowfall disrupted air travel across Western Europe Friday, forcing more than 800 flight cancellations and leading to major delays in Germany, the Netherlands, and Switzerland. So, and just in earthquake news, 5.5 magnitude quake hits Flores region, Indonesia. Indonesia is one of those places you want to keep your eye on as far as volcanic activity. And referring to Mount Merapi volcano in Indonesia, says it could erupt at any time. Officials warn, says Merapi has increased volcanic activity over the past week, and officials have raised the alert level for the 9,737-foot-high mountain to the most urgent level, said government volcanologist Surono, who uses only one name. So, and this was from October 25th, 2010. And this is important because there's many things that can cause a sudden cooling and ice age, and scientists say that we're pretty much due for one. So, what basically the point I'm trying to make here is that you should keep an eye on Indonesia and its volcano, and Iceland's volcano, and even the ones in the western United States, because once those things keep brewing like they are in South America, and that eventually they'll have enough ash flying in the air that it could really just block out the sun and cause at least a mini ice age. So, and there's been a lot of activity. UN climate meeting OK's Green Fund in new accord, and it says here. UN conference on Saturday adopted a modest climate deal, creating a fund to help the developing world go green. In other words, they mean redistribute your wealth from, quote, rich countries, and basically redistribute that wealth to poorer countries. And I don't know, most of the people that I know here in the U.S. aren't rich at all. In fact, they're barely middle class. And it says here, though, it deferred for another year the tough work of carving out deeper reductions in carbon emissions, causing Earth to steadily warm. And so, yeah, it's all about economics, but it's also, and basically redistribution of wealth. But reduction in carbon emissions also means reduction in human bodies. It's talking about population reduction, so that's how I see it. Maybe there's something wrong with me, though. I'm sure there is. Cancun delegates reach climate change deal, and you see both these pictures say hope, right? And I think it was Mussolini and Lenin and yeah, I believe it was Lenin and Mussolini. They both had change and hope as their slogans back in the 40s and the 30s. Isn't that funny, dude? In the 30s, I meant. That's crazy. Cancun delegates reach climate change deal. Delegates of the United Nations Climate Change Conference in Cancun, Mexico, approved an agreement early Saturday despite objections from Bolivia and with praise from the United States government. And they always say hope and change because it's very, ambiguous. People always want to hope. They always want change, but they're never really told what that change will be. So, but we're going through change right now, economically, right? Energy wasters in your home says energy doesn't come cheap, and you can go through here, and it's a nice little propaganda piece, talking about the lights and how to save energy. And I was just hearing recently that a lot of these energy efficient machines are actually less efficient than the older ones. So, and it says here, mummified forest provides climate change clues. And you know what? And when you think about it, a lot of these new products, they're crap. They're pure crap, low quality crap. And they're not really made to last that long. They're made to throw away when they're broke. So, in the long run, you end up spending more money on this cheap crap. Mummified forest provides climate change clues on a remote island in the Canadian Arctic where no trees now grow. A newly unearthed mummified forest is giving researchers a peek into how plants reacted to ancient climate change. And see, they're talking about ancient climate change. It's the weather, you douchebags. When did I don't know when all this just became climate change. It's like, okay, yeah, climate change. The Earth's climate changes. Okay, that's as the Earth turns and the tides flow and the moon goes around us. I mean, life will go on, right? But it's like it's always this doomsday crap, that I'm sick of hearing. Ancient climate change, yeah, like they were farting too much and putting too much methane in, and the dinosaurs said, hey, so somebody's got to go, and then they just started trading carbon or methane emissions and basically killed all of each other off, and that's why there's no more dinosaurs. I don't know, I'm going off on a tangent here, but it's totally ridiculous. They're trying to act as if everything that has to do with climate change, it's natural weather patterns, except for the weather modification and the spraying of chemical aerosols into the sky that they're doing. Besides that, and HAARP, where they're buzzing and basically allowing, how could I put this? They're helping earthquakes take place. How's that? They're pointing their little HAARP technology towards fault lines that are really prone towards an earthquake, and they just turn it up. Turn it up, man. California regulators okay major greenhouse gas rules. So look at this. Hoping other states will follow suit, California regulators overwhelmingly approved the nation's most extensive system, giving owners of power plants, refineries, and other major polluters financial incentives to emit fewer greenhouse gases. So that was a bill that was voted 9-1 Thursday, and it passed in California. And I'm going to move on here. Cabinet's okay corporate tax cut carbon levy. Overall burden on individuals will rise if Diet approves reform plan. Finishing up here before we cut to part 2 of this news bulletin, the government approved tax reform plans Thursday for fiscal year 2011 that included a cut of 5 percentage points in the corporate tax hike and worth about 500 billion yen for individuals, especially high-income earners. So please join me in part 2 of this news bulletin. This is Global Government News, and I'm Darko. Thank you.